Okay, I think we are live. It is officially 4 o'clock p.m. I see the Facebook going. I'm unmuted on our Zoom call, and I think we are good to go. So, welcome everybody back to the game plan here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Hope you had a great weekend. It is Monday evening, and we are preparing for not just this show, but our coaches show later on tonight. Again, we're going to talk about that a little bit more later. But this is Luke Young from Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. Mike Gannett's back at the studio, our board operator today. Thanks to Lilygrass for letting us come and do our show. It's our monthly chance to come by the shop and sit down here and do our sports show and kind of look at the inventory, look at the deals. Always a great time. Lilygrass Flowers and Decor is at 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400, and it is still the winter sale and the holiday sale. So for the winter sale, you get 75% off all items with an orange price tag, which on the desk I'm sitting at here on the right side of the store, there are a bunch of different kind of items with these orange price tags, ornaments, pet accessories, just trinkets and everything in between. It's currently all over the shop right now. And they're also doing, of course, that holiday event I mentioned where it's 50% off all gift items, like all the gift selections. If I'm not mistaken here, that's everything but flowers and handmade items. So you can come by here, ask about that. It's lasting through, obviously, the holiday season. And they do this sale, the seasonal sale, on pretty much every season, right? I've seen it for winter, fall, and summer now. I just only haven't been here in the spring, so they're doing that pretty constantly, too. But if you want to call and ask about it, call 405-721-1813, or you can go to the website www.lilygrass.com and browse the selection, see the store online as well. This Thursday, they tell me it's $35 make and take night. So for $35, you can pick out a container and flowers. It starts at 6:30 p.m. You can get help creating your bouquet. You can do it on your own. Please bring your friends and family, anybody that wants to do it, online signups as well. And I believe they also have private classes for groups of 5 and more, and we might look at those a little bit later on. But right now, we got to get started with this show. So again, hope everybody had a good weekend. Mike, you're back at the studio. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing good. Very disappointed about last night, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we've got that on the schedule for today. Don't worry about it. That'll probably be our third or fourth segment. We're going to save it till half number 2. I know that for sure. But I had a good weekend myself. Obviously, I was down in Duncan for the basketball tournament. Came back up for some 4A state championship football, and we'll get into all of that. And it was a long weekend, but it was a fun weekend, and got a little bit of time to rest yesterday. We're right back to it today with the coaches show coming up. But Mike, before we do the sports talk, we got some bad news earlier today. I'm afraid. Rob Reiner has passed away.
Yeah, he and his wife both. And police have arrested their son. Rob had 3 children. Michelle was his second wife. He was married to Penny Marshall at the time. He was back in the early 70s, whenever he was doing All in the Family. They divorced in the early 80s. Rob adopted Penny Marshall's daughter from her first marriage, actress Tracy Reiner. Tracy Reiner's in Apollo 13. She's in Jumpin' Jack Flash. She was in League of Their Own. She's the one who finds out her husband's been killed in League of Their Own. That's Tracy Reiner. That's the oldest of the Rob's children. That's the one he adopted. And then with Michelle, he had 3 children with them. And their son, Nick, who's had substance abuse problems, has been arrested and charged with murdering them.
Yeah.
So it's tragic. It's unfortunate.
He was born in 1947.
Yes.
So that puts him just under 80 years.
Yes, he's 70. He was 78 years old, and his wife was 68 years old. There was a 10-year gap between the two of them. Yep. His wife was a photographer on the set of Sleepless in Seattle. Mm-hmm. No. When Harry Met Sally. Sorry, I always get those two films mixed up. But when Harry Met Sally came first, and she was on it, she was like the still photographer that walks down and does all the behind the scenes snapshots. Mm. They get released to the press. So that's what she did. And so they met there. They got married. They had kids, and they built a life. And so in Southern California, his big films, of course, were Stand By Me, Misery, A Few Good Men. Mm. This is Spinal Tap, which is the first film he directed, a feature film he directed. when he was an actor in the 70s, he won 3 Primetime Emmy Awards for playing Meathead.
He did.
3. So he was, and then he was also a writer. He helped adapt. He did Princess Bride. He helped adapt it. He wrote When Harry Met Sally. He wrote Sleepless in Seattle as well. He helped co-write it.
I mean, you've already listed off like pretty much all the big films I was going to talk about for his list of work there.
I said. I mean, that was one thing. Everybody I was watching some podcasts and stuff, and everybody in the geek community are just looking them down, and it's like, one after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, and we're just and his range was amazing. His father, he was the son of Carl Reiner, who was the creator of the Dick Van Dyke Show. Best friends with Mel Brooks. Worked on the 1950s on Your Show of Shows, which was a variety show that was kind of the forerunner of Saturday Night Live, and with Sid Caesar. And Carl Reiner said in an interview, they asked him about his son. This was probably around the time of Misery and Few Good Men. Yeah. And they asked him about, hey, your son. And he said, my son. Oh, I'm so proud of my son. My son is great actor, great comedian, and he's a better director than me. And that was that's saying a lot coming from Carl Reiner.
Yeah, that is saying a lot. But he's kind of had the filmography to back it up, right? I mean, he producer, writer, actor, director.
He has the filmography to back it up. I mean,
he does.
He was so talented. And, it was so shocking how good he was and how he understood. I mean, he did the best adaptations of Stephen King novels. 2 of the best. There have been 5 that have been outstanding. He has 2 of them. Was Stand By Me and Misery. And so he had that knack. And then Princess Bride is just comedy gold, and it's just and people can quote it all the time.
Yeah, people, AKA my parents.
Have fun storming the castle. And now half of that film is ad-libbed. Give that. But then there's a lot of stuff that the As You Wish. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepared to die.
Yep.
That's scripted. So he knew how to take the script from the source material, use those words, and then spice it up with his friends and bring them in like Billy Crystal and Carol Kane, who played Miracle Max and his wife, and let them go nuts and ad-lib like crazy. And so,
great movie. Some of the ones we didn't mention that he worked on. 8, Wolf of Wall Street. He voiced a character. I think, did he voice himself in The Simpsons at one point?
Yes, yeah. He pop up on The Simpsons.
He's been in so many just different TV series and movies, like you were saying. I had a well of talent. So, and I watched When Harry Met Sally for one of my college film courses while I was working on my minor. So that's how I saw that one.
And his mother has his mother has the line, "I'll have what she's having." And he was sitting it up, and he was doing it, and he was making directions, and he doing all this, and then they cut to Mom saying the line, and then Rob pulled Billy Crystal offside and said, "I just did this scene with my R-rated scene with my mother in attendance and gave her the best line in the movie." He like suddenly the cringe factor finally dawned on him of what he had just done.
I think I actually knew that beforehand. I think I might have actually known that was his mother.
Yeah, and that was a famous quote, a story he always told when they asked him about that. He talked about, I was so focused on being the director, I didn't think for a second of what I was doing with on the set with my mother in attendance.
And that's why it works.
And that's why it works.
But rest in peace to the legend. I don't want to get too much into the politics or controversy of it, but apparently our good old president took a shot at him on Twitter.
Yeah,
I'm sure you saw that.
And then the irony popped up in about the last hour and a half. Michelle Reiner was the photographer for the cover of The Art of the Deal. Huh. So she knew. She knew him. She knew them personally. He knew them personally. And I'll just leave it at that. Just
we don't want to get too much into it.
Life has a way of. We live in an age of irony. I'll just leave it at that.
We do.
there was something else that Rob made. Oh, hang on here.
While you're thinking of it, I will speak a little bit more on A Few Good Men. So,
Oh
obviously,
yeah.
that's an extremely popular movie. Everybody knows it.
Yep.
Sometimes quoted as like the best legal film, I guess you would say,
Yep.
like of all time. One that pretty much every time it's on the TV, we've got it on as well, just because it is that good a movie.
Yeah. It was nominated for best picture, so he has that. He has that under his belt as well.
He has a lot of those that just you always have on. It's crazy when you go and look at the filmography, just how many movies, like, yeah, I've got that one playing constantly, I've got that one playing constantly, I've got that one playing constantly. Wolf of Wall Street and Spinal Tap are like
Yeah.
that for some people. For us, it was probably more The Princess Bride, A Few Good Men.
Yeah. Yeah. Few Good Men. American President. American President's really good. American President ended up being the test run for the series The West Wing, because they had Annette Bening and Michael Douglas is playing the president, and he was a widowed president, and then he meets Annette Bening, and the relationship is them dating, and her possibly being the next first lady. So that was kind of the through line for the whole show. But the rest of the cast is made up of people who ended up working on The West Wing.
Hey, I didn't know that. Just
Yeah.
talked a little bit of lore on me.
Yeah, so there's that. Like I said, Kathy Bates won for Misery. Those nominated were Jack Nicholson for A Few Good Men and James Woods for Ghosts of Mississippi. Ghosts of Mississippi is about the death of Medgar Evers during the 1960s civil rights era. So, like I said, he also had Spinal Tap, The Sure Thing, which was a teen comedy in the vein Breakfast Club and 16 Candles, kind of a male version of 16 Candles.
I kind of forgot The Sure Thing exists.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and then there's the Princess Bride. Stand By Me, that's where Kiefer Sutherland finally broke out. As far as an actor, because he played the bully, the guy who was picking on the kids. So you got Princess Bride. If you go see, let's see. Oh, Bucket List, which is a great movie about cancer.
Haven't seen that one.
Yeah, I worked with a guy who was living with cancer for over 10 years, and he adored that movie.
Mm.
He said, God, it was the best movie about living with cancer that he could imagine. Let's see. He did, and then, of course, he did Spinal Tap and Spinal Tap 2.
Yeah.
And so, and then, like I said, he played, he was in The Wolf of Wall Street. He played Leo DiCaprio's father. He also was a writer on the Smothers Brothers back in the 60s, and when he was partnered with Steve Martin. If you can believe that.
Talk about a long, successful career, man.
Yeah, he was like, he was born in 40, he was 21. He was born in 48.
Yeah.
And he's 20 years old, and 19 years old, and because he's Carl Reiner's kid, he got on the Smothers Brothers, and he had the chops to do it. He had the chops. He was there.
It's not nepotism if he's good at it.
No. You're not a nepo baby if you're doing it. That's the family business dynasty in effect for that.
Yeah.
I don't like the term nepo baby. I mean, when we've seen Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr., Donald Sutherland, Kiefer Sutherland. Kiefer's brother is on a hit TV show right now playing a cop on Fox. That's Murder in a Small Town. That's Kiefer's brother.
Oh yeah.
That's Donald's other son. Yeah. So. And then of course in Britain they've got the Redgrave family and the Richardson family, which then blended and ended up creating one super dynasty.
It's funny we're talking about that now because over the weekend I was talking about NASCAR with my brother, and one of the drivers he says is only in the league because his father drove, and he's like one of the bottom 4 drivers in NASCAR, and he's still there just because of nepotism. It's so funny we're talking about this again.
Yeah, but in NASCAR you had Dale Jr.
Yeah, Earnhardt.
And the Earnhardts. So like I said, it runs in the family. Rob and Billy Crystal had been friends for forever, going back to the 70s, because they were all in TV together, and a lot of those TV actors all knew each other. So Billy actually told the story that about when when he saw Stand By Me, and there's a scene where Will Wheaton's character is talking to River Phoenix's character and says, "My father doesn't understand me," and Billy said, my jaw dropped in the theater. I have had that conversation with Rob, because Rob in the 70s was a little bit estranged from his father because they were that age and they weren't really connecting, and Rob felt that his father didn't understand him as a kid growing up in his teenage and early 20s. But eventually they came around. Like I said, Carl Reiner ended up praising his son, when at the time he hit that run in the 80s and 90s, and he said, "My son's a better director than I am." So, yeah.
Yeah.
This one, and man, if you got family members, let's say this in closing, if you got family members that are in crisis with addictions or mental illness, please get them help. Please get them help.
Yep, I agree with that. I mean, unfortunately, this is not the only story we've heard of something like this, so do all you can, right? There's always people out there willing to help.
Yep.
Unfortunately, we do have to end our first segment there. We have run out of time here, so one last time, rest in peace, Rob Reiner, legend in the filmmaking game. It's unfortunate what happened, but just remember that there's always help, no matter what you're going through. So we'll send it to break here. We are live at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor back in Oklahoma City. What you envision, they make reality. Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400. Again, you can call 405-721-1813 to get a hold of the store. Open 8:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturday. We will be back and talking sports right after this.
Lilygrass Flowers and Decor is rooted in rich history dating back to 1979 in the precious memory of Flowers by Roy. Alicia Rankins and staff have carried the commitment to only offer the finest, unique floral arrangements with same-day delivery locally and nationally. What you envision, we make reality at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, 7101 Northwest Expressway. Call Lilygrass Flowers and Decor at 721-1813 and begin a new memory.
Do it best at Evans Hardware. Since 1965, Evans Hardware has provided Midwest City with top-quality home improvement supplies and a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. At 1021 South Douglas Boulevard, Evans Hardware is family-owned and has the right products for every situation, including DIY projects, professional contracting, or quick fixes. Their satisfaction guarantee and quick turnarounds mean you'll always find what you need. So visit Evans Hardware in Midwest City. Or call 405-732-1898. That's 405-732-1898. Evans Hardware in Midwest City. Midwest City.
If you're hankering for some real Oklahoma barbecue, then get yourself on over to Earl's Rib Palace at 6816 Northwestern in Oklahoma City. They have the ribs, chicken, turkey, sides, and the cobblers that will send your taste buds on a hoot-no. You need catering or planning your tailgating, Earl's Rib Palace will get you set up. Dine in with friendly customer service or carry out. You're going to savor Earl's Rib Palace. I reckon I ought to give you their phone number. It's 405-843-9922. Making mouth-watering barbecue since 1996. Earl's Rib Palace.
Apple Tree Antique Gallery sits in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway and is the home of the Gotta Have It. With over 70 vendors and spacious shopping, always celebrating the third weekend of the month with special. Apple Tree Antique Gallery is locally owned and operated with the hometown Bethany flavor and tradition. Call 495-0602 and check out the Gotta Have It Apple Tree Antique Gallery.
Tanko Mechanical, Electrical, and Plumbing is a commercial and industrial contractor. They offer end-to-end client experience that includes seamless communication, budgeting, staffing, on-site organization, and it's solid quality handiwork every time. The past projects include both new construction and repairs and restoration. Occupied and fully operational job sites are never a problem. They can also plan, manage, and build multi-phase jobs. We are a turnkey plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and mechanical contractor. Tanko Company, give them a call at 405-255 405-255-7804. Again, that's 405-255-7804. Tanko.
And that'll bring us back right here out of break. Make sure I'm turned up all the way. I think we're good. Hey, we're live with the game plan here on segment number 2 from Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. Always great to be back out here. 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400. Got some more information for you with this holiday sale. Again, it's 50% off on all gifts. No flowers, no handmade items, but it's perfect stuff for the holidays. Gifts for family, stocking stuffers, things for yourself if you want them. Hey, and who am I to judge? Everything in between. So one of the little things I was talking about here, you call like an ornament. So you see something like this, which I'm holding up on the Facebook right now, just a little, it says Elf Cam Naughty or Nice. It's made like an ornament. I'm assuming it's an ornament. I'm pretty sure this is, but it's got the orange tag on it, which means it's part of the winter sale. 75% off all items that include the orange mark on their price tag. So you can stop by and find yourself something like this. Just one of the great things here in the store. And of course, the flowers are also the big part of Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. They got fresh flowers. They've got the fake flowers that we have seen on the break there. If you're watching on Facebook, they've got displays of them that we're showing you here. But people have already been coming by the store since I've been here, picking up their orders, right, putting in custom orders. The people love Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, and it's great for things like dinners, high school celebrations, weddings, and literally anything else you can think of. Lilygrass Flowers and Decor is a place to be. Again, call 405-721-1813. And later on, we'll tell you more about those classes as well. But, Mike, here in segment number 2, it's time to talk about all those sports we hinted out in segment number 1, starting with high school. So we just got done with both a big basketball tournament and the 4A state championship between the Tuttle Tigers and the Elgin Owls. And, man, what a great game that was. But let's start with the tournament first.
Okay.
So it was the Southern Oklahoma Invitational in Duncan, Oklahoma. I got to go down there for 2 full days and a little bit of Saturday. Bethany's men's and women's varsity teams both won the tournament. Bethany beat, it was actually Elgin, believe it or not, in the finals. They beat the Elgin women's basketball team, and the men's team beat Mount St. Mary's, which, speaking on those two teams, man, Elgin and Mount St. Mary's are both really, really, really tough teams. They were good championship games. The men's went into overtime, and both teams were trailing coming out of half. Bethany kind of had to make that second half comeback against both of them. That's just the strength of competition there. If you were watching on GSN Sports and Talk while we were broadcasting those, you might have seen some of the blowout wins that we got over Capitol Hill on the men's side. You know, we got over the Cash Bulldogs on the women's side there in that second round. You might think, okay, well, it sounds like Bethany has this pretty much handily in the bag, and then you get met with 2 great games in the championship round, which we knew that about Mount St. Mary's. Mount St. Mary's is ranked number 4 in the class going into that tournament. So at least I knew that they were going to be a force on the men's side. It was going to come down to them and us. On the women's side, though, I was a little bit more up in the air. I didn't know what we were going to get. I wasn't too familiar with Elgin's team, but they came out and played a super great game. They're very strong through the first half, obviously. They got a lot of that done with their starting center. And we'll ask them about their thoughts on the games later on tonight at our Coaches Show. By the way, everybody, Coaches Show at 6:30 to 9, just about 2 hours. It's down at Smoothie King. I'll be there with John Hickman, the women's basketball team. But on the Elgin game for the women's, they got the Owls starting center to foul out.
Ooh.
And once she was fouled out of the game, that's really where Bethany went on a run to make that comeback victory. Again, we'll ask for their thoughts. We'll hit them with those questions on the Coaches Show. But, Mike, I don't know how much of the games you got to listen to, but I wanted to hear your opinion following these dual championships and coming back home for 2 more home games now. How do we feel about this early stage of the season for these Bethany basketball teams?
Okay, we were a little concerned with Bethany because, was it the second game that they had? They really kind of got throttled. Was it the second game of the season?
I'm assuming you're talking about the Kingfisher game, which would have been the third.
Oh, the third. Okay, so
third for the men, second for the women's.
Yeah, so they kind of got throttled there in that one game, and so everyone was kind of like, looking at them, and they're young. They've had some turnover on the basketball side this year. And so the thinking was, as the national guy says, is this a full rebuild or is this just a little tweak, a little retooling? Based on how they played in Duncan 3 days in a row, and how they dominated the first 2 days, and then they came back in the third day, I think this has ended up being just a retool. And these two teams may be getting ready to start, pick up right where they left off last year.
I agree with you on that one. The men's team definitely faced that question more than the women's team, I think. But see them come out, they're still running with their guys, right? They've still got Denton Jaggers as their number one option, but they've had Jack Weaver step up. They've had Seth Griner step up. Breck Brady is an incredible player himself. It definitely was more of a retool than a rebuild for the men's team, I think.
Yeah.
And, man, women's, they were right up there at the top of the class on their side. So where Mount St. Mary's was number 4 in Class 4A on the men's side, I think Bethany was number 4 in Class 4A on the women's side. So we knew they would have a good team. I saw them struggle with that full court press that Kingfisher brought out. There was a lot of turnovers in that game on the road. Yeah. And that was what I thought this tournament was going to force them to fix, to approach, to answer that question. And they kind of answered it by playing their own full court press, which they brought out a full court press all tournament long in every single game, and it worked against pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
So I was happy to see that. I mean, when you're learning to go against something like that, right, one of the best ways to do it is to, when you're learning how to defeat something, to learn how it works in the first place. I think running it throughout the tournament gave them a better idea of how that kind of pressure works, and I think they'll be more prepared against it the next time they meet it in the season.
I agree.
All right, and before we go to break, the last high school thing we did was the Tuttle State Championship. 23-20 Tuttle Tigers victory. Very close game against the Elgin Owls, which we all knew it would be. We all knew it would be. Those two teams are top dogs. But, man, getting to be out there at that game, calling that with the guys from Tuttle TV was something special. It was something special.
Yes, it was. And it was a great game. Okay, how wide open was the fullback at the end? because
he had one man on him. If Cruz Campbell had underthrown that ball at all, it's an incompletion and the game is over.
So he put it right where he needed to put it.
He put against the wind. He put it right where he needed to. Front shoulder, back corner of the end zone. I mean, the most perfect ball you could have possibly thrown in that moment.
Man.
That's what Cruz Campbell threw to Whitcomb to win the game.
Impressive. And then in the first half, in the second quarter, there was after Tuttle scored, they kicked off to Elgin, and they were kicking into the wind, right?
You said in the second half.
Was the first half or the second half? Which one was it?
Are you talking about the recovery?
Yeah.
Okay, I believe that was second half.
Okay,
yes.
It was the start of the second half, so it was the first score.
They were going against the wind.
Okay, and so because kickoffs are free kicks, once it goes beyond 10 yards, it ended up being a variation on an onside kick, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It was really weird. It kind of caught all of us by surprise. Just Jordan Lane flew out of nowhere off of one hop. He just jumps on it and smothers it. And it's Tuttle ball. It's completely fair.
Yeah. So once again, the ball is kicked and it goes up and it goes beyond 10 yards and and then that wind gets a hold of it and it stopped right there in the middle of right there, midair, right?
Yeah.
And it just dropped.
Dude, it looked like a fly ball in baseball the way that thing was moving. That had so much comeback on it with that wind. For those that weren't out there, it was cold, it was windy, but it was clear. 20-mile-an-hour winds blowing straight north to south. I mean, those kickoffs were dying. They were going absolutely nowhere. And Tuttle was able to get that one back on that. There were, I think, 2 turnovers total in the game. The board might have said 3 throughout it, but I think we eventually settled on 2. And I'm going to get more into this when we come back. The OSSAA actually put out state championship statistics, so I'm going to pull those up and kind of get you a look at those as well. But we're already at the halfway point of our show. This is Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, our venue for the show day. You can see a little bit of the selection behind me. I always sit at a desk on the right side, and I've got a Cardinal-themed display behind me, which, honestly, I'm a big fan of blue. If you can't tell watching on Facebook, that's the color shirt I'm wearing. But I do like the Cardinal selection. This is pretty good. It's a nice red on all the decorations out here. So you might stop by Lilygrass Flowers and Decor and find them here yourself and take a peek. You might find something you like. So Lilygrass Flowers and Decor is doing this make and take event. Again, it's this Thursday at 6:30 p.m. For $35, you can pick out your containers, your flowers. You can make your bouquet yourself, or you can get guided instruction, private classes for groups of 5 and more. And they also do classes through the Francis Tuttle website. So that's the lifelong learning website. Once per month, it is directed creation. You can ask Miss Melanie about it. But these classes are something they've actually done pretty consistently. So if you are interested in that kind of a floral design, stop by Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. It's something extra kind of they offer here that you might find that you really enjoy. So again, 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400. And we will be back after break talking more high school football, and then we'll move on to something new.
Stan's Plumbing is your locally owned, full-service, licensed, and bonded plumbing company, proudly serving the Oklahoma City Metro for over 30 years. Stan's provides all types of plumbing services like faucet and toilet repairs, sewer repair, and trenchless pipe replacement, water heater repair and installation, both tank and tankless, plus drain cleaning and jetting. All plumbers arrive with fully stocked trucks and can resolve your plumbing problems in a timely manner. Since 1988, Stan's Plumbing has held itself to a higher standard in plumbing. Call 405-721-5100 to schedule your appointment. Stan's Plumbing, Valley Service in a dirty business. 405-721-5100.
John Campbell is your local health market agent that specializes in Medicare. Instead of talking through an 800 number, talk face-to-face with your local agent, John Campbell, to answer all your questions and find the company that best fits your needs. John Campbell Health Market serves Yukon, Bethany, and the surrounding area and will travel across the state of Oklahoma to meet with you. Call John Campbell Health Markets at 405-200-8414. Call 405-200-8414. Grandview Windows and Doors is a proud sponsor of the Bethany Broncos and a part of the community serving all of Oklahoma City area with a mission to provide our customers exceptional window and door solutions. Locally owned and operated, Grandview Windows and Doors is your window and door specialist. Drop on by our showroom to get the latest color, styles, and special pricing just in time for the fall. Call 405-787-0230 and visit us on Facebook, Grandview Windows and Doors.
When technology has you screaming at the office, call Simplify Tech Solutions at 405-981-1011. Located at 4221 North MacArthur Boulevard, Simplify Tech Solutions features IT management, business phone systems, manages Wi-Fi, and offers repair and support. Simplify your Wi-Fi before the emotional breakdown by calling Simplify Tech Solutions. Locally owned and operated at 405-981-1011. 405-981-1011. Simplify Tech Solutions.
Now open at 5801 West Britain Road. It's Himador Mexican Grill. Order at Himador Mexican Grill and be treated to a spacious dining area, friendly staff, and delicious Mexican dishes. Fajitas, quesadillas, seafood, vegetarian meals, they've got it all at Himador Mexican Grill, 5801 West Britain Road. With different lunch and dinner specials every day and great prices, Himador Mexican Grill is the place to be. They open at 11 a.m. every day and come by starting August 30th to get some drinks at the brand new bar. The people love Himador Mexican Grill, and you will too. Call 405-367-7274 or email himadorgrill5801@gmail.com to reserve your table. Himador Mexican Grill is eager to serve you. 5801 West Britain Road and call 405-367-7274. Name brands and more for less at Victory Mattress Outlet. Welcome to Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway in Oklahoma City. Family-owned and operated Victory Mattress Outlet has options for every budget, like quality 10-inch beds to high-end luxury mattresses fit for a king. You're the winner here. Shop pillows, protectors, bedroom sets, and more. And remember, the friendly people at Victory Mattress Outlet can help deliver, assemble, and set up your mattresses and furniture. Call 405-510-6988 and never pay retail price for top brands again. Victory Mattress Outlet, 7101 Northwest Expressway, 405-510-6988. That's 405-510-6988. Victory Mattress Outlet, where your best night's sleep costs less. folks, we are back here on the Gospel Station of Sports and Talk. Third segment right here from the game plan. Luke Young, Mike Gannon with you. I'm at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. Mike is back in the studio here in the city. We're going to continue talking the high school side of things. But again, Lilygrass Flowers and Decor are amazing venue for the day. Love coming by here. It's super nice. The business, there we go, got the words out, is separated into 4 distinct seasonal sections. So on the side I'm on, you've got my fall section to the left and the winter section to my right, which if you're watching on Facebook, you can kind of see those during the breaks, some of the stuff in between. But they've also got what I would describe as a summer and a spring segment over on the far side of the store here. And when I say it's Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, I mean it. So flowers are everywhere, and again, it's all kind of color coordinated as well. There's a lot of yellows and oranges to my left and a lot of whites to my right. On that other side, though, you get much more of a variety, everything from green to red to blue to pink. It's all in there. And you can always get some fresh flowers as well. And those, I don't know enough about flowers to go through and tell you all the different types, but the friendly people here at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor do. So make sure you stop by 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400. They're on all forms of social media, so Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, Pinterest, Instagram. They're on Yelp. So any way you can get on social media and find them, they'll be there for you to see. They're also tagged in our Facebook Live video. So if you want to check out their Facebook account, that's the way to do it as well. Again, it's Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. Thanks to Alicia Rankin, the owner here, for letting us come by and do our show. But here on segment number 3, we're going to keep talking about the high school sports because we got more to say about this state championship, obviously. Mike, when we just went to break, we were talking about the kickoff that was recovered by Tuttle. Now, get this, Tuttle didn't score off of it, right? That was one of the chances they had where they were set up in good field position and they weren't able to get anything out of it. It was kind of a running theme of the night. Tuttle was only 2 for 4 on trips to the red zone, and they held onto the ball. They made those trips to the red zone at a much lower rate than Elgin did in that game. Elgin's ground game really gave the Tigers trouble. Listening to it back at studio that night, just tell us what was going through your mind as you were listening to myself, Kevin, and Zach on the call.
As I said, they came out of the gate and they were dynamite. They had the safety right out of the gate on the first possession,
which pretty much ended up being the difference, by the way.
Exactly, and so I said to going in, this is going to be the unstoppable force meets the immovable object, and offense was key in the first half because they were running, going up and down and scoring against each other. They were just trading blows back and forth, and then they got into the second half, and both the defenses stiffened, and nobody could do anything all through the third quarter.
It's true. No points in the third by either team.
So they completely stiff. And then in the fourth, it turned into, one of those classic cases of, we saw Mahomes and Allen did that. The 13 seconds left in the game, 13 seconds left game. Troy Aikman in his college days did that with UCLA. I think his senior year, he did one, and I think he was playing USC, and they went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It was just insane. So they ended up doing a variation of that in the fourth quarter because Elgin was marching down the field, and unfortunately, we've never had this happen this year because Tuttle's been so dominant. Tuttle's defense sounded gassed. They were tired. They were cold.
On the field for a long time on some of those drives.
They were cold and they were tired, and suddenly there was, instead of going from getting them in the backfield or getting them for only 1 yard, they were going for 5 and 6 yards and 7 yards, and so it started to wear on them, and you're thinking, oh boy, here we go. Here, Elgin's going to start pulling away. Nobody's going to score, and so when the Tuttle got the ball back in the fourth quarter with 3 minutes left, they ran a textbook 2-minute, 3-minute offense.
Yep.
It was textbook what they did.
I mean, it was perfect clock management, too. Elgin had kind of lost a lot of their timeouts earlier in that half.
Yes.
Perfect clock management, moved the ball very consistently, from one side of the field to the other, right there knocking on the door of the red zone, literally right on the 20-yard line when Campbell threw that last touchdown pass. Mike, to your point, I've got some stats for you. Again, the OSSAA has put out the state championship stats. Time of possession, in the first, Elgin possessed it for over 8 minutes. Tuttle possessed it for less than 4. In the fourth, it was the same story. Elgin possessed it for over 8.5. Tuttle possessed the football for less than 3.5. Now, it was more even in the third, and that was the one they went scoreless. But Tuttle had a big second quarter where they flipped the script. They had it for 8 while Elgin had it for 4. But you can see how often Elgin was in possession of the football.
Yeah.
They had 7 third-down conversions, 3 fourth-down conversions. By the way, they went 3 for 3 on fourth-down conversions, while Tuttle really struggled on third and fourth, 2 for 11 on third-down conversions, and 1 for 4 on fourth down. Elgin's ability to keep it on the ground and keep churning out first down, 5-yard run, 7-yard run, first down. It had us legitimately worried because Elgin has done that to people all year. That was the way they won this game.
Yeah.
Or that was the way they would have won this game.
That's the way they were winning, especially in the postseason.
Now, there you go. And when I say that safety at the very beginning, that was a snap that went over the head of Elgin's quarterback. It was that and the missed point after attempt on Elgin's first touchdown that was the difference in this game. If there is not the safety, if that's a clean snap, and if that PAT is made, it's tied. It is tied. We're heading into overtime. That's how close these two teams were. But, man, two high-powered offenses. And it came down to, as Kevin was saying that entire game, who had the ball last.
Had the ball last.
And Caden Boleto did not have the ball last.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell did.
And when he got the balls, that ball was like 45 seconds left or whatever it was at the end. The Tuttle defense showed up and shut him down.
Oh yeah, I don't even remember if they got it past half field.
I don't think they did either. And they basically just decided they got that second wind on that one after that long drive helped them out, and they got a little bit of their energy back, and they just went in there and were able to shut them down and go home.
A take the lead touchdown with like 30 seconds left tends to give some energy to your team when you have something like that.
Especially as a crazy play like that. Like you said, everybody was focused on the wideouts, including you guys up in the stands calling the game. You all were looking at the wideouts. And the fullback, they ran the old Dallas Cowboys Moose Johnson play. Little Moose goes out, runs into the end zone, and catches the ball.
He was definitely not who was on our radar, and that Tuttle showed us that kind of a couple of times that night, where they were going to players that weren't high up on the radar, but it worked out. It worked out perfectly.
That's great play calling too, man. As much as you want to go to your go-to guys. If you spotted something and your some of your if your marquee guys are getting open on some of these routes, as the decoy, you got to remember that and you got to go back to him, and that's what he did. On the last play.
They snapped a 27-0 win streak Elgin was on. They completed the comeback, got the revenge for last year. Tuttle earned their 4th state championship since 2001. They won. I don't remember the numbers. I think it's a 106, and then 18 and 25, if I've got it right.
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Actually, I have it on a sheet here. I think I just got to find the right sheet. Let me see. A 105, 18, and 25. There you go. So, I mean, when you come up a game like that, it's a heartbreaker for one team. It's a thriller for the other. But we just got to say congratulations to both of them, right? On great seasons, on an excellent state championship game. It was everything like we were expecting. As Kevin used, barn burner. That was the word he used. That was the word head coach Brad Ballard used, and it was that and more.
Was that the closest game of all the state championships?
Probably. I mean, 3 points, probably. We know it was closer than 5A.
Yeah. I know it was closer than 5-8. And I know there was one of the 6A was a blowout as well. So, yeah, it ended up being the best game of the entire postseason statewide.
With those two teams, that's exactly what we expected. That's done with segment number 3. We're live from Lilygrass Flowers and Decor, getting ready for the last 15 minutes of our show. Thanks so much to Lilygrass Flowers and Decor for letting me come by and do my show here. Email info@lilygrass.com if you want to find out some more information about their products, their services, those classes they put on. You can also go to the website, www.lilygrass.com, or call 405-721-1813 to get in contact with them that way. Open 8:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and 9 to 2 on Saturdays. You've got plenty of time to stop by here, chat with the friendly and helpful employees, look at some of the beautiful flowers, and maybe pick up some great decorations for your holiday needs, right? We all know everybody out there is looking for that last-minute gift, that last-minute maybe stocking stuffer that you didn't have time to get earlier. Well, Lilygrass Flowers and Decor is the best place to come get it. Take part of their winter sale, 75% off all items with an orange price tag, or the holiday special, 50% off the entire gift selection. We'll be back for one final time after this commercial break. Thank you so much to everybody who is watching the show. It's been a fun one, and we got a show after this, so we got to get ready to go over there and do that. So we'll go to break, one final segment when we come back.
Stephanie's Vintique and the Plaster Paint Company is all Oklahoma made at 3821 Asbury in Bethany, featuring vintage, chalk paint, antiques, clothing, vegan soaps and lotion, homemade cards, decor, and furniture. And space is available for rent to start your own business at Stephanie's Vintique and Plaster Paint Company. Call 405-249-3604 and see why people are coming from all over the metro for this paint and decor. Or you can visit us at theplasterpaintcompany.com and also see us on Facebook. Stephanie's Vintique and Plaster Paint Company in Bethany. Start your Vintique experience.
Are you looking for some hair, some virgin hair, some extensions? Well, come to Alchemy Ming Virgin Hair and Boutique. We have moved to 10709 North Rockwell Avenue, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Suite D. Come and see all the styles from your best hairstylist, your favorite hairstylist, the award-winning hairstylist of the year, Jasmine J.G. Garrett Whitten.
At the home of the Gotta Have It, you'll find Apple Tree Antique Gallery, located in the heart of downtown Bethany at 6740 Northwest 39th Expressway. Enjoy spacious shopping with up to 77 unique vendors across more than 10,000 square feet, offering everything from jewelry and clothing to one-of-a-kind treasures and so much more. Don't miss our third Friday weekend specials every month. And yes, we're open Sundays. Call us at 495-0602. Apple Tree Antique Gallery in Bethany, home of the Gotta Have It.
Looking for fast cash without the hassle? At Red River Credit in Oklahoma City, they've got you covered. They offer auto-secured loans up to $3,660, and the best part, no credit check. Need something different? They also provide traditional installment signature loans with a credit check. Whether you need quick cash or a long-term solution, they're here to help. Enjoy cash-friendly service with easy access online at redrivercredit.com. You can apply in person at 4571 Northwest 23rd Street, Suite A in Oklahoma City. Call 405-440-0582.
We are Integrity Heating, Air, and Plumbing, in business for over 40 years. We've provided top-notch service for every company and residential home in the area. Let's take a look inside and let you meet some people.
Hey, Blaine. Good morning. Here we have a part of our call center. This is Tina. That's Gabby. That's our general manager, BJ. Our office hours are from 7:30 to 7:30, Monday through Friday, and we do heating and air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. Give us a call. We always have specials. Our number one priority is your family, constant comfort, and convenience. We offer 24-hour service.
And in order for us to do that, we fully stock everything here at our warehouse. Whether it's commercial or residential, we offer plumbing, heating and air, and electrical full services. All of our guys are licensed, we're bonded and insured.
Here at Integrity, we offer senior discounts, military discounts, and public service discounts.
You worked hard for us, so let us work hard for you.
Yeah, go Broncos.
Means we are back from break. Thank you so much to everybody that has been tuning in so far. Hope you've enjoyed the show. It's been another good one. We're going to stay on high school actually for one more segment. I'm saving plenty to do at the Integrity Heat and Air show tomorrow, so make sure you tune into that. But Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. Man, what can we say about this place that we haven't said a million times? How much we enjoy coming out here and doing the show at Lilygrass. If you're watching that break, you saw a little bit of that winter selection I was talking about. And that's got everything from ornaments to Christmas trees to wreaths to nativity scenes and a bunch of different, of course, holiday decorations over there as well. I'm trying to go look over there, and I don't know what the word is for these things on the side, but my eyesight isn't good enough to see. I'll have to get up and check in a break here, or for the next time we do the show, I guess. But thanks to Lilygrass Flowers and Decor. Remember their Make It, Take It. That's what I'm calling it, Make It, Take It, just like in pickup basketball. Their flower bouquet creation event. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. Make and take, $35, Thursday at 6:30 p.m. You can get help or you can make a bouquet on your own. They encourage you to bring your friends or family. They've got online signups for you on the website, www.lilygrass.com. And they can do private classes for groups of 5 or more. Go inquire about that. Go find it on the website and see if you can do it. As I promise you, it will be worth your time. And speaking of the friendly people, Miss Melanie does one as well through Francis Tuttle. Go on the Lifelong Learning website and you can find her class there. It's once per month, directed creation by Miss Melanie, and I promise you, you're not gonna regret it because she is very, very good at her job. And every time I've gotten to talk to her about it, she's told me a little bit about the process. They seem like really fun classes, so go find a chance to do it. Mike, here on this final segment, speaking on high school once more. Earlier today, some awards came out for football, all district awards and things like that, so I'll go through some of them for you here. The 4A2 all district football awards are out, and here are the players and their awards. Marcos Lopez, first team defensive lineman. Baron Teehee, first team linebacker. Chase Clanton, first team O-line. Jagger Weaver, first team district athlete of the year. Seth Griner, first team district cornerback of the year. And Baron Teehee has also won the 2025 Ben Nimmo Award, while Seth Griner won the 2025 J.P. Grasmick Award. So congratulations to those players for their outstanding achievements in football this year. Next time we see them on a coach's show or just hanging out at Qdoba or something, I'll have to ask them about that, get a quick interview with them, right? But Bethany got to the first round of the playoffs. They were defeated by Elgin in their playoff run, unfortunately, but losing to the Elgin Owls is nothing to be ashamed of. That team is really, really good, really good. And Bethany, in a year that had a lot of injury troubles, had a couple transfers, right, things that just didn't go right for the Broncos, they still played their hearts out, and I think that's reflected in the awards that those players just earned. So again, from us at the Gospel Station to the Bethany High School football team, congratulations. To the individuals that won the awards, congratulations. You guys had a year to be proud of, and we look forward to next season. Mike, anything you want to add to that before we move on here in the final segment?
No, I just agree with you. I agree with you. Yeah, it was like, just kind of wasn't quite Bethany's year between the injuries and losing a couple of players and some of the players aging out. It kind of ended up being, they were good, but, Tuttle and Elgin were just better. But I think next year is going to be a three-way battle between Tuttle, Elgin, and Bethany for the title. And maybe Broken Bow. I don't know how young was Broken Bow.
They actually do have at least 1 year out of most of their starting skill players. So like their quarterback, I believe they'll have another year out of that massive running back they have. They should have another year of.
So it's going to be a four-way battle. Ooh, that's going to be fun.
I think you also can't count out Cushing. Now,
yeah.
I didn't get a chance to see that game, so I'm not extremely familiar with what happened in it, but the way the Tuttle TV guys talked about this Cushing team that they had seen, that seems like a scary team too. And Cushing was Final Four. So
all right.
We're going to have a lot of questions to answer come next season for football. That much is for certain. And while I'm thinking about it, by the way, I do need to give a thank you to the OSSAA and Mr. Vanche Ivan for helping us out on all the postseason stuff, getting us space, getting us scheduled and things. And I'd also like to send a thank you to Tuttle TV for joining us on the Gospel Station broadcast. It was Kevin Rogers and Zach Huff that joined me. Kevin was our color analyst. Zach was our stats guy, or statistician, and that was a super fun broadcast. I can see why Chase liked doing it so much with them. I can see why Ryan liked doing it so much with them, because they were great, and it made that game so much more fun than it would have been otherwise. So a thank you from me personally to those guys.
Absolutely.
And, Mike, just funny here, Danny was telling me earlier this morning that you guys after the game had your own little celebration, your own little party going on. Tell us about that.
Well, after you were done, we came back and we talked about some of the stats and some, I threw in my 2 cents on what I said. Like I said, the kickoff in the second half that killed me. The way you were guys describing it, was like, yeah, it's up and it just stopped, and then Tuttle recovered, but unfortunately didn't go anywhere. But and it was. And so like everything I said earlier, I talked about that. I talked about these crazy plays in the final play, with the 3-minute drive, and it was textbook and all that. So, yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
Nice. I'm glad y'all enjoyed it as much as we seemed to, because as cold as it was outside, man, we did enjoy it. It really was a fun game.
Good.
Well, guys, on thegospelstation.com, EPH 511 is on right after this, so make sure you stay tuned. That runs 5 to 6. And then after that, at 6:30, we'll have the Coaches Show with Bethany High School women's basketball. Coach Saylor's going to be out there again, and he'll be joined by a squad of all juniors. I'll clue you in a little bit. If I remember correctly, you'll see Lara Hallberg, you'll see Emma Saylor, you'll see Cameron Gear, and you should see Allie Lynn, all joining the show for that one. So that's a great squad of players to interview, and John Hickman and I are very much looking forward to that one. So again, that's at 6:30 tonight. Make sure you tune in. Mike, anything you would like to say to the folks before we close off this rendition of the game plan?
No, I would just say it was a great football season this year. It was a fantastic football season for both Bethany and Tuttle, and we also got to do a Carl Albert game as well. And of course, Carl Albert was Carl Albert and did Carl Albert things, and I'm glad you get to experience that, because seeing is with those guys, you hear these stats and you're like, 3 yards in the cloud of, back in the day it was 3 yards in cloud dust. Really, that's what? And then you see them and you go, oh yeah, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, hold on here. Breaking news: Bob Stoops released a statement announcing his retirement from head coaching.
So he's going to give up the UFL, the merger of the USFL and the XFL. So he's not going to be back down in Dallas working for that team anymore.
Dallas Renegades head coach Bob Stoops announced on Monday that he will be retiring from coaching after a championship career at the professional and collegiate levels that spanned 5 decades and included his most recent 4-year stint with the Renegades, whom he led to the XFL championship in 2023.
Yep.
So there's breaking news from a little bit ago. Congratulations to Bob Stoops on his successful career. Obviously, Oklahoma legend, insane. I wonder how it must have been so much fun being able to coach XFL. I'm telling you, that must have been a one-of-a-kind experience.
Yeah, it probably was. So congratulations, man. He proved. He's done everything he can do. He might as well just kick back and enjoy life. Kids are grown. Time to enjoy the grandkids when they come along.
Absolutely, and he has more than earned it. So. Yeah. As Bob Stoops has now retired, we're going to retire from this Monday show with him. We're done with here. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in again. We've been at Lilygrass Flowers and Decor here in Oklahoma City, 7101 Northwest Expressway, Suite 400, right on the corner of Rockwell and Northwest Expressway. Super easy to find. Big, bold letters outside, Flowers and Decor. You can see it when you drive by. But call 405-721-1813. Go to info@lilygrass.com or head to the website www.lilygrass.com. They're also on all social media, including Facebook. They are tagged in our Facebook Live video. And if you always stop by in person, that's always the best way to do it. You can stop by and see the selection for yourselves, get a part of this winter sale or the holiday sale, and chat with the friendly employees. But we're done here. So for the final time, and I swear this time, for the final time, we're done. Have a great night. God bless. We'll see you at the Coaches Show. Thank you.